and welcome to the NXT review. We are the Dadley Boyz of WhatCulture. I'm Adam Wilborn, joined by Michael Hamflett and Michael Sidgwick, here to review everything that happened on last night's episode of NXT. But before we get into it, if you're a fan of this sort of thing, make sure you subscribe to WhatCulture Wrestling on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Amazon Music, and YouTube, where we do daily wrestling podcasts where we not only review the show formerly known as NXT 2.0, AEW Dynamite Collision, pay-per-views, premium live events. We have interviews, roundtable discussions, and a round of the week complete with a really good quiz, of course, on WrestleCulture. As I said, they're joined by Hamflett and Sidgwick to review last night's NXT, the go-home show, of course, ahead of the great American Bears.
And God bless the United States.
It must be a dream for you to have PLE the last 2 weeks, because you can have Fallout and a go home on the same night.
Yeah,
that's a good point. That's 2 bullets straight away next week. We don't even know what's going to happen. NXT's in a weird old place at the moment, isn't it?
It's not a normal one ever. So what does that mean?
I think this is one of the best go-home shows I've ever seen.
You said that.
I genuinely said I loved this show.
I didn't as much. I liked it enough, not as much as you, but it's been up and down. There was definitely a point this year where NXT was form, and then it got even better.
Yes,
but I think it's fallen off a bit lately. But this was all right. I don't know where I'm at with NXT currently. There was a period where I was like, "This is it. This is the best wrestling gets every week," and it's fallen from that. But not sure.
It stinks.
it's
not good.
A good cross section.
It's not good. There's one decent thing on the show, realistically.
People are going to go nuts for it as well, I reckon. I think that's when people catch up with that main event.
Yeah.
Talk about later, people are going to go mad for it. Like Dave's.
Which people?
Like you're going to see supposed wrestling tastemakers. Like, it's that WWE trash, but like.
Don't sleep on.
Yeah, don't sleep on this. This is pretty good. Dave's going to go 4+ on it.
Yeah.
That's going to
Dave goes 4+ on everything.
Yeah, Dave gets out of bed 4+.
Well, apart from CM Punk versus Samoa Joe at Wembley Stadium, of course. Yeah, just a match. It was good.
I agree with you. It was a nice time, but
it would have happened already, the discourse.
Yeah.
It's just been and gone.
Even
Like everything else, it's
much.
been and gone.
We should say a massive thank you to the Panda Blair himself, Adam Blair.
Thank you.
Who sent us an American care package from his time in the States, which nicely accompanies the growing American Bears. Of course, we got red, white, and blue do. We got these nerd gummies, which will be nerd clusters, I should say, that we've got a game to play with a little bit later.
Yeah, I've
on.
got a game to play.
We've got Skittles gummies. We've got moon pies, a moon pie each.
Is that your favourite pie?
Second favourite after cream. Milk duds and got one of these.
What an arsehole. What a dick.
Slim Jim. Slim Jim.
Yeah, I'm sure it is, pal.
Yeah. Your eyes do not deceive you. Right. Oh, and have we got one of these? Oh, come on, I got undone. What's that? I can't read it from here.
Butterfinger. I'm going to eat this now.
Yeah.
Finders keepers, and you've dropped 10
What's
times.
your
How is it,
flavour,
Sid?
Sidge?
I mean, it's sensational, quite
hot
frankly.
drinks, don't they?
Yeah, it's Mountain Dew, Star Spangled Splash. Too many S's.
Ah, yes.
Too many S's. However, it always just tastes like dew, but it's like every Mountain Dew tastes, it's a bit of dew in there, and the flavour is as advertised.
Yeah.
It's just really nice. I will get sick of it after about 3 gulps. How many for you?
5 bottles.
Which is how much of your daily intake of sugar?
The one bottle is just the 153. So I'm going to give this a go. Hang on.
I have Freedom Fusion.
1, 2. Oh my God. This is indeed 50 flavours in one Dew. One for every goddamn beautiful
What's it
state.
called?
It's called Liberty Chill.
Okay.
Which I guess is like Liberty Bell,
Oh, yeah.
kind of. but
Except a
Liberty
cold
Chill.
beverage.
It's the flavour of every state in that goddamn wonderful country that made all this stuff. So no matter where you come from, you're going to love this.
Thank you, Adam.
Thank you so much, Adam. We really,
genuinely.
really appreciate it.
This is going to last us today. We are going to crack into it. Have you ever had a milk?
Maybe I've had a milk dud. I can't recall having the milk dud, so let's have a milk dud.
We'll save it. Yeah.
Don't tell me when to eat.
Feels like a tagline for a Butterfinger. Crispity, crunchity, peanut buttery. Like a sort of a one-line description for an NXT character.
Yeah.
Right, got it. Right,
Got it.
I can get there.
So the show last night opened. Trick Williams shows up in his car. He's so keen, he just leaves the door open and just walks in, basically.
No top on.
No top on. That's going to chafe with the old...
peeling himself off the car seat. Oh.
And
I wonder he was all fired up.
He walks past Cedric Alexander and Ashanti the Adonis. Cedric tries to stop him, but he says he's not stopping, basically, until he gets his title back. He wants Ethan Page. He gets down to the ring and says, let's talk about it. Since losing his championship, he hasn't been the same. He lost a piece of himself. But he spoke to some OGs in the locker room, and it's led to one thing. Ethan Page, you'll see me again. I'm not going to stop until I get my title back. And then here comes Cedric Alexander. He says, I didn't want to do this in front of the world, but I'm trying to give you advice. It's coming from a good place. Trick appreciates Cedric, but he says, I'm still not stopping. And Cedric says, I'm trying to stop you from being blinded by your passion. Ashanti the Adonis also interrupts them. He says, I don't know why you're trying, Cedric. And Trick says, don't try and stir things up, Ashanti. Why don't you go back to SmackDown? And Ashanti says, hey, I'm just trying to pick up the ball that you dropped. Trick said, I didn't drop any ball. Cedric says, Ashanti, don't get involved in all this. And Adonis says, whatever advice you try and give him, it's not going to click. He says, Trick, you're in third place when you stood in the ring with the two of us. Trick says, I've never been in third place. Listen to everyone, I'm gold. Cedric says, well, what do you mean by that? Sounds like you're saying you're better than me. Don't mistake my kindness for weakness. Let's have a bare knuckle fight then. And Trick accepts, and Ashanti says, another Trick decision, another Trick mistake. And the fight's on. He knocks Ashanti out of the ring before jaw-jacking with Cedric.
There is a lot to love already about Ashanti the Adonis's NXT gimmick.
Oh my God.
But it was not. but it was not a show here.
Yes.
Him and Cedric are they're in NXT because everything has failed for them, pretty much. Like, there's been all this discourse about the Hurt Business this week. Obviously, Cedric Alexander was part of that. Hit Row, like now, like B-Fab is another potential victim of the Bobby Lashley exit.
Yeah.
AJ Francis actually doing pretty well for himself. Swerve doing well for himself. So again, you're kind of like, by design, Ashanti Adonis is sort of this guy that's left out, fallen by the wayside.
I think Swerve Strickland's probably doing a bit better than AJ Francis.
I'd say so. They have not arrived in NXT. It's like, well, we've completed the game everywhere else. This is the last place for us. Like, with respect, it's not even like Matt Hardy, is it, saying, well, we've never won the NXT tag titles. Like, at least like they have got these belts and this legacy and all of that. They're there because there is just nowhere else that appears to want them. And yet they turn up and they take this guy, Trick Williams, who's the hottest star on this show, and just spend 3 or 4 minutes trying to reduce him with words. It's really, really fake feeling. Really fake feeling.
Oh, yeah.
And bad for Trick. I don't think this was like a particularly good segment for Trick. I'm not sure they know how to book him on this chase, and the chase shouldn't last very long. I think the longer he's not able to get that belt back off Ethan Page, the weaker he looks. The whole deal with him was, Christ, like, he's let momentum carry him all the way. And I just think, I appreciate what they're doing with Ethan Page. They're trying to get the best out of him at the same time, but you run a big risk of making Trick look like a loser out of nowhere if he doesn't get his belt back within like 2 PLE cycles. He's got to get back to it very quickly. He's already starting to look a bit like a whiner for the first time, or like just not the like sort of, I don't know, like sort of the coolest guy on the show. A couple of things have gone wrong and he's not handling it very well. And, they're normal human traits, and I know WWE like to do that, but it was just more fun thinking that nothing and no one could touch him, ultimately. Even his best friend turning him, and he turned that around on him. They can't not have Trick with the belt for very long at all.
Yeah, piss poor this. Absolutely piss poor. I mean, who could possibly take it seriously? Hamlet's correct. An insult to the intelligence, an impromptu match, an interrupted promo, a complete lack of credibility in the words being exchanged. This was an absolute shambles.
Set up a really exciting match later on, though. And then the champion walks in, Ethan Page, Tyson Tyreek passed a little comment about him getting pinned by other men. So it doesn't bother him, though. This doesn't bother him. No. He says, you're not worth my time. And he walks off, and they laugh. More on him later. And then it was time for our first match of the evening.
Oh, my God.
Former friends going to war with each other.
No live lost.
Josh Briggs versus Brooks Jensen. Briggs is making his way to the ring when Jensen jumps him from behind. But Briggs makes a comeback, sends him into the front row, basically. Also chokeslammed him through the announce table, basically.
I liked how nothing was moved off it.
Yeah, just smash through it.
It's one of my, you know those things that just become normalized and you have to deal with it, I guess, because you have to watch wrestling. Like weapons under the ring. It's a bit dumb, innit, if you think about it.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, just get rid of these jagged edges for you. And then I'll give you the power bomb. You know what I mean? It's dumb. Wrestling's stupid.
Oh no, the crew have left their bin full of kendo sticks.
Yeah. It's just dumb. But I enjoyed that. I enjoyed that detail immensely.
Always makes me think of a Good Friends, Better Enemies when Diesel just powerbomb Sean and the monitors and everything just falls on top.
Yeah,
of him.
yeah,
He's
yeah,
just covered in stuff.
It's covered in jagged edges that hurt.
It's just happened to him.
Yeah.
I saw that clip again recently of that Randy Orton. Is it Kane he's kicking? And he kicks and goes to put his foot back where it was, but they've taken the monitors out and there's just a hole and he's like, just drops down and he's like, falls over and he's like, oh no, that actually really bloody hurt.
He's trying to get his knee out and it's like, it's scraping the skin.
But you mentioned kendo sticks there. Jesus, Briggs is back I think we came back from a break. He's been nailed by Jensen with shots from the kendo stick.
For the Instagram, probably.
So he fights back, hits a backdrop on the ring steps. There's a double down after they both hit big boots. And another one after they just twat each other with kendo sticks again. Briggs cuts off Jensen, though, as Jensen tries to hit him with a chair shot, a white chair shot, in fact. Briggs grabs the chair, Jensen sort of begging off, when Sean Spears appears, and he's like, go on, brain him, Josh. And instead, Briggs grabs Spears by the lapels. And he says, all right, sod it. Why don't you use the chair? And Brooks Jensen is far happier to do that. He smacks Briggs, just breaks out in front and back. And then he points to Spears, gets Briggs up, DDTs him on the chair. 1, 2, 3. And he leaves with Sean Spears. Josh Briggs off to Japan, of course, now.
Yeah, you see the white chair. It's Sean Spears telling you that the chair is in fact virtuous and not the implement of evil, as you may have thought. That's just kind of games that Sean Spears likes to play. This was fine. This was a fine plunder match, mainly because I'm invested in both these guys because they exist as very important figures in our own personal lore of this podcast. I feel like we've been with these two for years and years and years at this point. Brooks Jensen is not screwing up his push.
He looks like a badass there. Any women backstage watching that.
Absolutely ringing endorsement that is.
Yeah, that's the bar.
A ringing endorsement. Why is it the bar?
That is the bar.
I think he looks like a badass, and I think any women watching backstage who maybe have feelings that they've tried to bury for him, that would really stir something.
He's got a fiance, and it's being explained as much in the work shoot promo that the work shoot storyline that they've been telling. Yeah, that's my bit for a start.
I want you to do it.
Yeah. This match was, you know what? You could tell this is a low bar, but it's NXT. I'll ruffle its head. You could tell they've got a pre-existing relationship with these characters by the way that they approached it with their body language and their storytelling. They committed to the violence.
It's pretty mates, wasn't it? It was pretty
mates, stiff, you know. They did certain things that added just a little flourish of detail, like not moving anything before you just get smashed through a table. Thank you. Been crying out for that for years. You know, if you get a corner of a monitor put on you, especially now that they're rounded, I would take that.
Has anybody ever gone through the AEW table? Because that's a beast, isn't it? I'm trying to remember times when was it MJF maybe? He did an elbow. Or the table broke, didn't it? And he did the elbow anyway. Was anybody ever put anybody through that really rigid commentary table?
Maybe, probably.
I
It's wrestling after all.
I know. I can't
Been put through it, quite literally.
Yeah, putting through the bottom of it, yeah. Like a pile driver through it or something, because it's strong, isn't it? That's the...
Yeah. There's a little bit here as well when, I can't remember who did it to who in this match, but someone kicked the steps against one of their shins to set up a move. I thought this was thoughtful. Yeah, I got the distinct impression that they've developed a half-decent working relationship and they've just been in their sort of WhatsApps, like, right, well, I had an idea for this, I had an idea for this.
Yeah.
What if... Right, if you want to do that spot, how about we set it up doing like this or whatever? I think they've put a lot of thought into this.
Yeah. They wanted it to be remembered and they wanted it to work. And
yeah.
Josh
it
Briggs has
just
got
feels
this big
like
grey moment incoming. And
there's a bit of detail when these two work together. You just get the sense that they craft it lovingly.
Jensen's on the way now. This is how it works in NXT. They all, a lot of them just sort of float around and they kind of don't really get the moment, or there's never that one match that really leaves a memory with you. We're in it now with Brooks Jensen. He's on his way, not as like this loser NXT UK Tag Championship team or whatever. This is the start of his actual singles push.
Sean Spears, though, I don't like that finish very much at all. He's very much a performer, you know. It's blinding. He was good in that 4-way, but it's very like he's really quite good in the ring. It's solid hand, some might say. But
player coach.
But this sinister cerebral assassin, whatever gimmick, continues to just not be it at all. Why? There's more than one of these, QT Marshall. Really funny stooge heels wanting to be more than they are. Like, do you know how valuable to be a stooge heel is? How much entertainment value I get out of it personally? A lot of people do. QT Marshall, good stooge heel, thinks he's The Rock. Sean Spears thinks he's Bockwinkel. What does Sean Spears think? He thinks he's diabolical, doesn't he?
Oh, yeah.
He thinks he is diabolical.
The supervillain rather than the supervillain's putts.
Yeah. Which button did I press, boys?
Yeah.
That one.
Thinking in the brain, basically.
Yeah. That, like 5
He
seconds.
thinks he's Ole Anderson in Georgia.
You're right, there's such an art to it. Like that 5-second job he did to CM Punk and them just feud was brilliant.
Yeah.
Like, that takes some doing to get that kind of stuff over. Yeah.
People not... Why are people ashamed of that?
After that, we go backstage where we see the tag champs, Axiom.
When I'm cleaning windows.
Some people have said this podcast has been flanderized.
They were the Rascals, even. And Trey Miguel, who I've fallen in love with since seeing him on NXT, pushes the notion that, of course, the MSK never actually lost the tag titles. And they seem keen for it, but Nathan's done the maths. You'd think that would be Axiom's job, really, with the...
You would.
Good catch.
And he says, well, there's 3 of you and 2 of us. One of you has to sit out. And Zachary Wentz says, why don't you just get a 3rd guy? I go, all right, set up the match for later. Very excited for that. And Axiom's like, by the way, I've got some news to Nathan Fraser. I'm in the speed tournament. Nathan, what? You got angry at me with that? And he's like, it's fine. We got through it. What's the problem?
Yeah, fair's fair. Score draw there. But they are not effing, them two.
No.
Things are not right.
Then it was time for Stephanie Vaquer to make an appearance on NXT.
Indeed.
In a video that Carmen Petrovic, Sol Ruca, and Lola Vice were watching from their Mexico City live show. They talk about her. They put her over, obviously. She looks great. And they also mentioned, let's not forget the tag champs who aren't defending their titles, Alba Farah and Isla Dawn. Lash Legend and Jakara Jackson come in and say, well, when those titles do get defended, it'll be against us. And Carmen's like, when did you last even win a match? And they say, let's have a bare knuckle fight then tonight.
This was mostly stupid because it's like NXT, bickering NXT women, but they've actually moved to the NXT Performance Center kitchen rather than that locker room set that they use all the time. But in all seriousness here, wrestling should do stuff like this more. There is nothing wrong in a segment where wrestlers are watching an incoming wrestler and either the babyface is going, she looks great, and the heel's kind of sensing she could be a concern. That actually puts over the competition, and Stephanie Vaquer is an immediate threat. Like, she's been name-checked by Roxanne Perez along with Julia. So you sense if they're coming in at the same time, this is a massive shift for the women's division, and people should care.
Who was it that did this gimmick for a couple of weeks on the main roster a few years ago, where someone was doing matches and the gimmick was there was a group of wrestlers around the monitor going,
I remember that.
scared of them.
Yeah. Who was that?
It's going to drive us nuts.
It
If
is,
anyone,
yeah.
if anyone in the
I remember
comments,
the reactions. Whoa.
if anyone in the comments at WhatCulture WWE on X can let us know, because that's really going to wind me up.
But
I'm going to yell it out in the middle of... Oh, so sorry.
Yeah.
Then we got another match. It was Lexis King versus Eddie Thorp. Brief match this. Backbreaker, running
Crap
kick.
match, this.
King's in trouble. Gets back up with a super kick. But then the coronation gets countered into an implant DDT. Eddie Thorpe gets the win. 1, 2, 3. But Lexis King jumps Thorpe after the match. Sends him into the ring steps. Traps his hand in there. And then smashes it with that scepter of his. That's his DJing hand, isn't it?
I love that he can't. Oh! Very DJ and hands show stings. Oh, God, it's awful.
can do the ones, but not the twos. Yeah. There's nothing without it. This was really poor. This was
Had fun with this.
Had a brawl in the
Broke his
club
deal.
last
Sorry,
week.
they can't do that. That's his DJing hand.
They tried to set up this as a proper blood feud because of Lexus King doing the and they're like ruining his set. Everyone was having such a great time until Lexus King arrived, which felt lived in, to be fair. Like, oh, it was a great night. Then it turned, Lexus King arrived.
Yeah, Lexus King's got the scuzzy vibe of, oh, not Lexus.
Should we move on before he sees that we're here?
Yeah.
And
What was that Family Guy? Was that like Andy Dick or something? When he was like, and he showed up and it's like, oh, party's over. That's basically Lexus King.
and sometimes you wish that was the case on wrestling podcasts as well. It's no good, was it?
I really liked it. I like what it's set up for going forward. And there's going to be a spot where they're going to have a fight. Subsequently, they'll brawl all over the place. And then Eddie Thorp is going to mix using Lexus King's head on the turntables. So let it play out.
You're right. I hate
That
you.
is brilliant. Can they have
No,
a fight
it's
in the
not.
club?
No, it's not.
Yeah, globe fight.
He loves them having a fight in the club.
One of the reasons I hate you
Go on.
is that something terrible happens on WWE television, right? Something terrible happens on WWE television.
Man getting his fingers broken is atrocious, absolutely.
And then what you do is that you invent a silly bit in your head that you think it's going, it isn't. And you think, well, the ends justify the means. They're your ends.
You know when he's putting the head on the decks and it's going,
Yeah.
he actually then uses the needle to like go coast to coast across the forehead.
Hey, come on.
I mean, that's better than yours.
Hey, greatness echoes greatness, mate. Trick's backstage. Kelly asks him about facing Cedric. Says, I'll fight anyone to get my title back.
I'll make it bleep.
I'm not waiting for... Yeah, we're going to do the spot later. Just throw it in my eye. Why are you doing it over arms? Yeah, nothing can stop him from getting his title back. And then Pete Dunne says, oh, really? In the background. And Trick says, you got something to say? Pete says, figure it out.
What's he doing back there again?
What are you doing here?
You just left.
You've pissed off Sheamus on Raw.
Well, Sheamus is going to show up next week.
Yeah, I guess so.
Is Sheamus on this next week?
No. But Pete Dunne, when he faces Trick, is going to get attacked by Sheamus. Post-match, probably.
All right, okay.
He's in two stories that are both quite average at the same time. How's he doing that? It was better when he was a dog.
A better dog than man.
Yeah.
Then we got Ashanti the Adonis versus Oro Mensah. Adonis got a lot of offense in, was in control for the most part, but he was let down by his flirtation with Jakara Jackson.
I just want to. I've been reliably informed there's websites for this if you just want to watch people have full sex.
It's the build-up for me. It's half the fun. Oro Mensah rallies, hits his spinning wheel kick, 1, 2, 3. Post-match, it was a bit of a dud because he tried to get 1, 2, 3, a 1, 2, 3 chant going, calling out Ethan Page, and it died on its ass.
Didn't really take.
This show's poor.
This
Match was great. It was just unfortunate with the promo afterwards.
It wasn't great.
He flirted with Jakara Jackson. That was his downfall. That's a great story to be told.
Ashanti the Adonis, the Shagger. More on this.
Yeah. I thought it was your segue to open the milk
Yeah.
duds. Give us two.
Like
I've got no thoughts on this.
Oro Mensah's going to lose to Ethan Page. They want to create one challenger.
Ooh, stuck together a little bit. So just,
Well, one more.
yeah, there's some loose ones in there. Sorry, carry on.
That's all right. I want a milk dud now. That's kind of like it's taking my full attention.
I should just probably pour them out into your hand, shouldn't I?
All right.
Oh my god.
Well, bollocks. John. You're going to get blasted in the lights.
No way. Oh! I'm near enough.
Another one around. Oh, fair. That's the floor one.
I would fill in for this bad audio, but I've got no thoughts on the match.
Oro Mensah, somebody had to lose to Ethan Page. And this Oro Mensah thing, to be fair,
Yeah.
obviously Ethan Page's intro into NXT was to beat up the metaphor and be the mystery assailant, hospitalising Noam Dar, all that stuff. It's not been a bad build, but this was the sort of match where with Oro Mensah winning, you're supposed to be like, you know what, quietly on the sly, Oro Mensah feels like a credible challenger. And this match was a realisation that he doesn't yet. Ashanti the Adonis, the Shagger, more on him later.
Oh
my God.
Pretty good bit.
Yeah. Right. Charlie Dempsey's there. Charlie Dempsey's got a ransom note
Speaking of impossible bits.
with the words, I saw what you did written on it.
Who wrote it? 600,000 people.
and then like 400,000, and then 800,000. We're talking yesterday about the viewership of NXT and how it fluctuates, and it's like, tell me that doesn't look like a cock. It's just like, it fluctuates like, your penis.
Yep. It sure does.
From like, flop to erect.
Yeah.
Semis, and then shrinkage. What's going on down there?
Right up.
Yeah.
And then just
What's going on down there?
Anyway, the family are there
Just
as well.
remember talking about emu.
Yeah.
That's it's not really like a working bed.
Tony's there. He says, "Oh, a ransom letter. Old school. I like it." And Charlie says, "Who sent it? Come on, mate." Red Sinclair.
It's got to be bad if he buries it.
Red Sinclair's like, "I did." I was like, "Of course she did." She was. Anyway.
She's the only one who knows.
And Tony says, "Ha ha ha! She got you over a barrel, kid. That's hilarious." And Charlie says, "I need this situation dealt with." And Tony D says, "Oh, so deal with it. Give her what she wants." And basically, the NQCC say they can't. Ren says, "Well, I've got a match tonight. I better not lose, because if I do, who knows what I'll do or say." And they're all worried as a result of this, and head off. And Stacks is buzzing. Happier than when he bought his car recently. He says, "Ha ha, what you gonna say?" Tony said, "Oh, we gotta go watch this." And the wrist says, "I'm bringing the popcorn." So
every ramification is stupid. So like they could just let her join the no quarter cash crew. She can
That's what she wants, yeah.
She wants in, right? And so Charlie Dempsey, based on how scared he is of the truth coming out that we all saw on telly.
It's on telly. The show absolutely stinks.
He could just be like, "Well, all right, you can be in the group." That's almost no effort on my part. And if anything, you bolstered our numbers.
well, all we saw on television was him shutting a boot. She said she saw everything.
Right. Well, yes, I will give you that. But we're seeing this. We're seeing we're seeing the threat. So like he said, like, keep this between us. Also in front of the camera.
Yeah, as long as Ren Sinclair keeps her mouth shut, police can't do anything.
Is there going to be? Are you pitching a twist here that like Charlie Dempsey really didn't put Damon Kemp in the boot of that car, and he was just shutting the boot, and what Ren Sinclair thought she saw, she didn't actually see?
I don't want to get involved in this.
Or is Charlie Dempsey going to have no choice but to kill Ren Sinclair, also on camera, and they just people keep seeing us? Not again!
NXT Anonymous. Well, how are you going to get that one? It's great. All this is fantastic.
It's absolutely.
You've got to be more of a snake, son.
It's so bad television. It's just so bad.
So what it leads to, CJ?
It's proper when he goes in and goes, "Shh." Like that. It's like, they're thinking, "Oh, there's Dad in it." No, you've got it, son. No,
It's just so bad, mate.
Well, because it leads to the match next. Everyone's there watching. Carly Brigh versus Ren Sinclair.
It won 2 minutes and 40 seconds.
Great. Carly got sent into the corner, hit a back elbow, hit a second rope dropkick. Had the match won, but Charlie, having seen a kick out earlier on and panicked a little bit, decides to put Ren's foot on the ropes. Kendall Gray's out there. This was a nice spot, actually. She suplexed Miles Bourne. I got a nice pap. Off the back of this, Carly rolls up Ren. Ren gets a roll-up, countering that, though. And Charlie helps hold Carly Brigh down to get the 1-2-3 for Ren Sinclair.
And here's the other element, because in one match, they basically undermine everything they've done in the segment, because it's like, actually keeping the secret is beneficial to your career. It's the JCJ and Thea Hale thing. It's like, things improved since I didn't tell anybody about the murder. So now he's going to be constantly panicking that she's going to blab. But by not blabbing, she's basically going to win the world title.
Yeah,
he's going
or
to
at
get her
least
all
North
the way
American, yeah.
to the title shot, yeah. It's good stuff. I mean, by that, it's probably the worst stuff on the show, but I look forward to each installment.
Another great thing on the show was Hank and Tank. Cracking my tank. They're talking about trying to get on a Great American Bash. What's in the background? Axiom.
When I'm cleaning windows.
Speaking of nerds,
Let's do it. Talking about the speed thing again, and Javon says, "I'll be your partner." And he goes, "All right."
Class.
Right, so first try. We did a rehearsal of this earlier on the Dynamite preview and nailed it.
which is still available wherever you get your podcasts from.
Okay. Well, you're not your Butterfinger.
Okay.
Oh. Don't lose it in the lights.
What?
I don't want to lose it in the lights.
I don't know what the hell that means.
They say that sometimes, don't they? When the wrestler's like, "Oh, I've lost you in the lights." Like, "Oh, well, you fell over."
This is wrestling, yeah.
All keeping it all part of the same thing, isn't it?
That's you dog.
That's fine. That's fine. Oh,
Don't get that.
Don't know how that means a rethrow.
Yep.
When you get 3 goals, that's the rule of 3 on these podcasts.
Yeah.
3 questions, 3 jokes, 3 attempts at putting a nerd in your mouth.
Okay.
Bad throws. I would have put a fingered head.
Right. Really important thing happened next. So let's focus back up because this was greatness echoing greatness. Cody Rhodes in the Bullet Club, of course, changed their logo, and it was like a sign of things to come.
That was
Andre
one of the
Chase-
best goddamn things ever, that was.
Speaking of which, greatness echoes greatness because Chase, you were there. They're reassuring
I felt
Duke.
alive for a moment and you just killed me all over again.
They were talking about Duke's unsuccessful attempt to beat Overhemi, and he should be proud. Thea's got her interview tonight, hyping up her title match, and then Ridge Holland walks in with new Chase U t-shirts.
I don't appreciate
Changing things just like Cody and Bullet Club.
I don't appreciate you sort of undermining legendary stables by comparing them to this when this was obviously more NWO Wolfpack.
Of course.
Black and red. It'd be great to get a Chase U 2-pack, wouldn't it? And then like the rare one.
It'd be great, wouldn't it?
And the rare one is the one that time that they went through the same schoolgirl filter. Remember?
Oh, yeah.
So like they all got affected by it. I was like, hang on, so she's not magic. It's the doorway.
Yeah.
It's the Stars and Horizon door. I love the new Chase U colours.
Yeah.
Thea Hill had them last week, so this is a bit of foreshadowing that she's on the ground floor with Ridge Holland. So
Why does Ridge Holland even like Thea Hill so much?
she reminds me of my daughter. I don't want to her, I swear. Like it's the continued divide when all seems well, because obviously she's had this t-shirt last week, and that's the little reveal. They're cool, but Duke Lottie threw it away last week, didn't he, in the Open Femi match? And it's like, is everything all right? I don't know.
Riley Osborne's...
He's kind of with Duke now, isn't he? What's going on there, man?
Well, we got the Thea. Any thoughts on this?
No. I don't know why I'm here.
Oh,
Yeah, correct. Came for the food.
The moon pie. Do you want a moon pie?
No, I don't want to eat on a podcast. I don't know who would do that.
Can't put this stuff in front of him.
I know.
Just one man.
Do you want yeah. He'll probably catch this, man.
No, he's a better thrower, I think.
Don't let her get caught in the lights.
Yeah, don't get caught in the lights. Like wrestlers.
Well, that's the podcast off.
Oh, he's still on.
The wire's all right.
Oh,
good.
Right. Thea's chatting with Kelly about fighting for the title. About fighting for the title. A year ago. Time flies.
Who's fighting for the title?
More now. Thea Hill is a Great American Bash challenger. It's that, like, Shawn Michaels would always get voted in Taboo Tuesday.
Yeah.
They were continuing to push new baby faces, and the fans went, no, thank you, we'll take that one from
Yeah,
the
yeah,
Titans. That's Thea Hill in the Great American Bash now. So Shawn probably gets that as a booker and cooker.
Previously, she would have thrown a pep rally for some confidence. Doesn't need that, though. She got Ridge, a new dad, backing her up.
I don't fancy her, I swear.
Chase U trust her to make decisions.
She got stuck in a washing machine. How'd you get her out? I saw me once.
Thea says he's fine, he's human, he makes mistakes. He's a part of them now. Kelly says, you've grown up.
I'll bath if you need.
You've grown up.
Good job you're not my daughter.
I'll blame Panda Blair for this.
What would winning the title mean to you? She says it would mean a lot to girls like her.
What did you say?
Girls like her, and dads like him.
She's focused on winning the title, basically.
Yeah. I think that's... we've undermined it, but it's like... Thea Hill's a good challenger, isn't she?
Oh, no.
I like her. I like Thea Hill.
I think she wins the title
Do
next
you
week.
fancy her?
Oh, yeah.
She's like a daughter to you.
She's not winning the belt next week, though, is she?
Fingers crossed.
I hope so, but I don't think so.
Trick Williams versus Cedric Alexander came next. Went to the break after Cedric dropped Trick on the apron. Came back. Trick grabs Cedric, pulls him up for Uranagi. Cedric counters with a roll-up for 2. Cedric hit a nice Michinoku driver for a near fall. Trick goes to the trick shot. Cedric counters, though. Kick to the face. Suplex cutter gets 2. Cedric goes right into the armbar. But eventually, Trick gets out of it, hits the trick shot out of nowhere and gets the 1, 2, 3. He helps a woozy Cedric to his feet afterwards for a nice show of respect. But then Pete Dunne attacks from behind. It's a diving drop kick and stamps on his head and says, "Still haven't figured it out yet, huh?" Gives him another kick.
Fine match. Again, like I say, fine distraction booking for Trick, but it needs to kind of start and end with this Pete Dunne thing, because...
This Pete Dunne thing was so wild. I've already watched you yesterday.
Yeah.
You're a great rapper. I did just watch you yesterday, though.
You sometimes skim entrances and adverts on Raw, don't you? Did you skim past what happened to Pete Dunne on Raw? Like...
Was that the match with...
best possible outcome of a Pete Dunne
when
Bronson Reed
Sheamus
match.
immediately attacked him.
Yeah, didn't even practically get gear off.
Hence Bronson Reed's slightly offensive tweet I found.
What did he tweet?
You find the exact wording.
When you say offensive, is it the kind of thing that we should be putting on a podcast or not? Is he?
Well, I think we're all right
trouble.
because we, I can speak for us. But he said, "What the hell is that ginger's problem?" I tweeted that saying the comment section on the news most days. Then
That's at least one every day.
Bronson Reed likes a laugh, I think, on social media.
He's a funny guy.
thoughts on the match?
What match?
Trick shot, Trick Williams versus
Trick shot.
I just went to the finish. Trick shot by Trick Williams.
That's when he was in a Lucha Underground stage, actually.
Beating Cedric Alexander. It's good. I've enjoyed this.
Yeah. The second half was better than the first. You know what really annoyed me? And I blame Lance Storm for this, because Lance Storm was very correct on a certain take, where he said, right, he did this when he used to write his blog. I think he just picked on Tensai, right?
He's great on his blog.
He's great on his blog, wasn't he?
Prisoners.
He took one prisoner and he sent Tensai to wrestling jail because he was talking about like the art of the pin and how the WWE system isn't very good in terms of producing, coaching, nurturing talent. I don't think so. And this this finish, the pinfall, right? So Lance Storm wrote this article, and like any good bit of writing, it really illuminated something to the reader to the point where it's like, that's a perfect insight, so perfect that now every time I see it not applied, I'm going to get pretty cross. Mm-hmm. He was talking about how his absolute bugbear is like a veteran who's got a very particular way of doing things. And I've said this before on this podcast, it's called a pin because the idea is to pin your opponent's shoulders to the mat, and this absolute incessant, well, you need to hook the leg, hook the leg, hook the leg, hook the leg. It's like you don't win by hook the leg fall. It's pinfall.
And who had the trademark pinfall? Bret the Hitman Hart.
Exactly.
He never thought about it at the time as a kid. He's pushing down on their shoulders with all of his body weight.
Yeah, because, that's how you kick out and that's how you win. And there was a picture of Tensai just getting someone's leg, hooking it, and he's nowhere near. And then I think he contrasted it with a Marga. Because Marga used to do that. Was it Marga used to do that pin?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah. Trick Williams here was lying on Alexander's navel and hooking his leg.
Tensai's the relevant example here because the things they must coach them with and in their mind, the little details that matter the most.
Hook the leg, dude.
Coach Bloom is there saying, don't forget the leg or whatever.
Hook the leg, kid. Hook the leg. It's, everyone says it's winners by submission and hook the leg fall. Titles can change hand on a count out or a disqualification. It's only a submission or a hook the leg fall, kid. When you learn how to pin, mad.
You know what a Prince Albert is?
Ethan Page wants to go and see the general manager, Ava. She's the Rock's daughter. She hasn't got a surname. General manager of NXT. That's done that a weird way around. Don't like it. Anyway, He can't get in to see her, though, because he's confronted by Stevie Turner and the other one, whose name completely escapes me, Sige. Stevie Turner and...
Robert Stone.
They argue, basically, and sort of accidentally offend him. And Ethan just storms off.
Like, Sean was on this show, wasn't he?
Yeah.
Regal was there a couple of weeks ago. Like 50 people left to go to get anything done in NXT at this point. Like,
It's ridiculous.
Ava's got her own little circus outside at any given time. It's very mid 2000s WWE. This and
Yeah, just get Chris Daniels and then we can all see.
Kalani Jordan's backstage. She sees Tatum's now got her own Kalani Jordan doll, basically. Also, there was Wendy Chu, creepy Wendy Chu, walking around in the background. Kalani leaves, and the girls who were watching the video with Kalani see Ashanti, the Adonis, coming up. He's hurt. And they wrap their arms around him and lead him to the back, and he suddenly feels a lot better.
Who's he looking at?
The camera. There's a camera there. There was no there's a camera there.
Well, Tony D wants to be careful then.
I know what he always is.
Not really, because he's talking about his crimes and other people's crimes.
He's alluded to it. I don't think there's anything they can tie him down on.
Ashanti the Adonis' wink was funny.
Yeah.
I think I'm
Also
fine.
starring-
I think I'm fine, actually. I'm doing this for sex.
Yes.
It's back on the agenda on NXT. It's been too long.
Sex.
We got the tag match between
Main
Dom.
event time?
No, whoa, plenty of time to talk about other stuff before that.
Oh, Jesus Christ, there is as well. You've got Ulysses on your computer screen.
It's one of them short format sheets. It's like sometimes you worry he's taking his eye off the ball because there's like 20 segs. It's just so much. Segs.
It was Jakara Jackson and Lash Legend versus Carmen Petrovich and Sol Ruka. I said there was like a reverse X factor early on in this that I liked, and Legend got caught with a quick Hurricane Rana for 2. Everything breaks down. Stereo super kicks for a 2 count on Lash Legend. Jackson got kicked out to the floor and then taken out by Sol Ruka with a nice Rana. But Legend punched Petrovich in the face and hit that over-the-back faceplant finisher of hers for the 1-2-3. Post-match, Lash gets on the mic and says, Albert Eiler, don't mind defending your titles, do you? Anywhere, anytime, any place sort of thing. How about next week? The Great American Bears. And it's set up later.
Lash Legend, great strike that. Absolutely fantastic strike.
Was the only one in this. They have these matches sometimes in NXT. She was the only one that like wrestled like a wrestler. We had it at the last NXT Daily. Can't remember the name of it.
I think that was...
Jesus.
I believe sorry.
Oh,
I've dropped a milk dud. I believe the last one, Brigh to
yeah.
Heat whip. I like it warm, don't like it this warm.
That match, that singles match, Sol Ruka and
Kalani Jordan.
Yeah, like just all athleticism, very little believable pro wrestling, but in and of itself, something to look at. I suppose.
Show of the year, yeah.
There's a lot of those matches, obviously, with the
Yeah, it wasn't the show.
from the NIL wrestlers. There's quite a lot,
Don't care about anything.
but not Lash
I
Legend
like coffee and football in my family.
in that order.
Gareth Bale.
Lash Legend has not got that stuff. Instead, every now and then it's a wrestling match with her in it. And
Class, yeah.
Yeah, she was the difference maker.
Yeah, that got confirmed later on that we're getting a big title match along with the others. Week 1 of and from Mrs. Lash Legend to the former Mr. Lash Legend, Trick Williams. He's talking to Sean about wanting a match with Pete Dunne, and then Roxanne Perez comes in and moans about Thea Hale getting a sit-down interview. What about me, she says.
Moans.
It kind of is a story with Ava. She hasn't got a surname.
Just bitching about it.
Then we got a great recap of everything. Joe Hendry from his appearance last week and all the things we've seen of him being his face and his thing popping up everywhere. He says that he's doing voiceover, is that with every passing week, more people around the world start believing. Becoming a social media sensation doesn't just happen overnight, though. We see all the reactions to Joe Hendry. He's been wrestling 11 years, waiting his time to shine, always had the skills to succeed. But in 2024, you need something to get your name out there. He's put in thousands of hours in the ring, on the mic and on social media. Obviously, we're a bit biased because we've sort of been with him on parts of that journey. So it was just awesome to see this. Talks about, and we see clips of him on like Heart in Scotland and stuff, and the song becoming a smash hit, beating Taylor Swift, etc., etc. It's been his life's work to become £252 of pure motivation, and next week he's going to be doing a live in-ring concert on NXT.
Oh my God.
Lots of games can be played.
Exactly what I thought. And I'll say this, what followed Sige was the other Scottish stable, Gallus. And they're ranting about Joe, and, oh God, I can't stand that bloody Joe Hendry, this says. And he wants to, Joe Coffey, wants to face Joe Hendry next week at the Great American Bash. But as they're walking through the car park, this actually happened because I saw this on social media. They flyered everyone with the Joe Hendry concert. And one of the others, Mark or Wolfgang, says, "Oh, you can't fight him next week, Joe, because he's doing a concert." I genuinely laughed out loud when Joe Coffey went, "He's doing a what?" That's really funny.
Jesus Christ.
He's lost it.
Yeah, not for me. This is interesting. It's very much, Hamlet will be aware, older listeners / viewers will be aware, in the early to mid 1990s, they being the WWF pronoun boy,
We're going to get to that.
would basically measure your ability to not be the drizzlings if you couldn't have a good match with Sean Waltman, because it was considered virtually impossible. I choose to perceive all of this as, well, you think you can stay over, Joe?
Yep.
Put you a Gallus and see how entertaining you can make it, sort of thing. Honestly, I'm not sure. I'm not sure. There is that attitude within WWE.
Yeah.
There is like, they know that they've got certain wrestlers or like certain things that they feel that they must do, and they'll test their talent. They do, even post Vince, they'll do it. I genuinely think, right, okay, well, you know, they're there to be solid wrestlers who, you know, will never ever hurt you, and he'll always give you. I feel nothing, but other people always feel like, oh, Gallus, 3 stars. They're solid. They're functional. It wouldn't surprise me one bit. I know that's a Scottish connection, but how entertaining can you be in the face of that beast?
Sean's been asked to test their chemistry. I said this yesterday in the preview. He's been asked to test his chemistry because when Triple H brings them up, they'll just be made into a stable straight away.
Yes.
An element of this to me as well. This is a bit of a precious spot because my worry with Joe Hendry was always going to be, are they going to Fandango this? I don't mean Breezango and the patter. I mean the original. Oh my God, she sent Jerry Lawler out there to try and talk about the iTunes charts. It's dead. It's dead. Great. Thanks for that. It's dead. It's completely dead.
He usually does quite well with their young things that really aren't very old yet too. So it's weird that he got the Fandango thing so wrong.
I downloaded loads myself on all the phone contracts I pay for. It'll be a test of the meme of the appeal of Joe Hendry. It's a lot all at once. You know, The Rock does the Rock concerts, and
he's done one in Impact. He's done one in TNA.
I was going to say, I chatted to him about that when we had him in for an interview. It's well worth checking that out because he talked about that is such a precious situation.
It is a precious spot, and they'll want to see him shine, and then after that, it's off to the races.
Speaking of music, have you done the game you did on me this morning with Sige? I don't want to spoil it. There's 2 words.
I've already forgotten the game.
You done it with him?
Oh yeah. There's you might already know this. I learnt this yesterday. You can test somebody's age by what song they think of when you say the lyrics. Hey now.
You're an all-star, Smash Mouth.
There you
That's where our age profile is. There is a slightly older one that is "Don't Dream It's Over" by Crowded House. And there's some like young.
I'm aware
Disney
of Crowded
one.
House.
There's I'm going to wear a T-shirt that says Crowded House on it. There's a Disney one, I think, from Hannah Montana that's for younger people that like we could probably test on you. And you'd be like, oh yeah, that's that. But yeah, that's this like
No,
you
it's
Google it and it's yeah.
Smash Mouth for me.
Yeah, same.
Ethan goes to go in.
It was in like every teen movie of the day.
Yeah.
He goes to go
Just
in.
don't watch them again.
And Shrek.
Shrek, of course.
I've never seen Shrek.
And
All
that
the way
guy.
through.
Fourth
Nah,
one coming out, isn't there?
Fourth or fifth, I don't know.
Fifth, maybe.
And there was that guy who was big on YouTube for a bit, singing the words to All Star to different tunes. He'd go like, somebody wants, but he would like apply.
Oh, yeah.
That was good crack for a while.
Ethan.
Probably got milkshake ducked.
Yeah, probably.
Maybe. Is that milk?
He's got milk dudded.
Okay, I'll have one.
Oh, I don't know why I've done this. Ethan goes to go in. Amy, she hasn't got the surname. She's Rock's daughter and general manager of NXT. Goes to not.
Goes to what?
Goes to nut.
That's what he said.
Goes to knock. But before he does, a ref walks by and he says, "That didn't count last week. That did it. The 3 count that Aura meant to count it on me." Ref's like, no, of course not. He's like, right, grabs him, walks down to the ring.
It's pitiful, this.
He says, look, it doesn't count. It wasn't official. It's null and void. It doesn't bother me, by the way, any of this. He says, look, Aura attacked me last week. Was a ref in the ring? Ref says, no, it wasn't a legitimate match. The count wasn't official. Ethan's like, yay, doesn't count. Didn't happen. Refs usually suck, but in fact, he says,
In fact.
refs usually suck.
Right.
Refs usually suck, but
Hey, you all right?
and then Aura Mensa jumps in, attacks him, and rolls Ethan up, and the ref counts 3. It's good stuff.
Keep it. Title's on the line. If he does that in the title match, he's the world champion.
You know that?
Now we're aware
This is
of that.
absolutely piss poor, this.
Ethan Page did very well at like getting the crowd to be like, yes,
Yeah.
1, 2, 3, but considering how it died earlier on. The family are hanging out, and then here come the No Quarter Catch crew. Tony says, oh, look who it is, man of the hour. Didn't think you had it in you. Not so pure anymore, huh? Now respect it, though. Charlie says, look, don't flatter me. I'm still coming after that Heritage Cup. And Tony says, well, you know, I'm a generous Dan, and the Olympics are coming up soon. See, he's got a man in his crew who keeps an eye on the calendar, quite clearly, as we know. So I'm thinking I might give your Olympian a shot at the cup next week. And Charlie says, who? Tavian? And Lucas says, yes, Tavian. This guy represented this country in the 2020 games. Greco-Roman, right? And the wrist says, yeah, he even got himself a win. And Tony says, oh, not the one who got his ass whooped by a goyle. And they have to hold Miles back. And he says, I'll see you next week, Tavian. Good. Great. Olympics, isn't it?
There's mafia.
I'm excited for the Olympics.
I don't mind it, mate. I don't mind it.
Yeah,
It's not like my favourite thing in the world, but it's always good.
Aye. A lot of those things remind me of.
The stakes make everything better,
Yeah.
Tony Khan. Like, I could watch, like, it says, all right, there's a gold medal on the line here, so I'll watch a sport that I never ordinarily
Fencing.
would. Yeah.
A lot of stuff that you can't watch live. And it reminds me of like the BBC having like a 2-hour block at maybe like 10 o'clock at night. And it's like, I don't really want to like got school or work the next day or whatever it is. It's just that. I'll just fall at the Olympics for a bit where these people are having the biggest moments of their lives. And like,
Paris, so good time for us
yeah.
this year.
I was talking about like,
Where is it?
Oh la la, c'est France.
Oh, right.
Oui, oui. Paris.
We should be watching this from a professional capacity because some of the people in this Olympics could be in NXT in no time.
Yeah.
They're the next in line wrestlers in the making at the Olympics. It's the first step on the road. So I love that all this is for the Heritage Cup, by the way. All of this, and it's for like an amateur adjacent trophy for points.
Yes.
Basically, the wrestling equivalent of the gold medal. Heritage Cup, right? Main event. Oh, sorry. I was about to say main event time. Sorry, Sige. Oh, just got to go and deal with this.
What is it?
It's Sam from Sweet Chin Disco.
Ring them back. Just ring them back.
Yeah, but this is important. This could be, Max could be on the line. Prince Nana could be on the line. I'm not sure if we've mentioned this actually. You know what? You explain what I'm talking about there. People are a little bit confused by what I'm talking about, and then probably by the time I've sorted this out, we'll be fine.
Just ring them back. Just ring them
I'll
back.
be right back. And just make sure I've got this all set up for the main event. Sige. Yeah. I'll be right back. Bye.
Just ring.
I think he's lying, Sige. But he has given us opportunity to plug as usual. He's on about Sweet Chin Disco, which is the event happening after AEW All In, 2 minutes away at the Crystal Club. But speaking of the Crystal Club, 2 minutes away from Wembley, we are doing our own What Culture live show.
We are.
WhatCulture.com/tickets. Get on there, get your tickets, get Sweet Chin Disco, get those tickets. It's going to be a brilliant, brilliant time. A really great day.
We need to have an actual meeting about what we're going to do.
Yes.
In the order in which we do it, etc., etc. Maybe we can get that sort of sort
Get all the team together.
Just do it next week.
Somebody call for a referee, huh?
No.
Yeah, it's too hot to wear a goddamn coat. Let's
All right,
get it.
sure.
Oh, look at all these treats. Who do I have to thank for this? Thank you very much. Who are these treats, huh?
Adam Blair.
Yeah, Panda Blair, you know.
That's so much. Yeah, well, don't mind if I don't.
Don't make some stacks. I find that really gross. It's chocolate edition go together.
I have a great taste, to be honest.
No.
Anyway, guys, big day today, of course. Big old day, ain't it?
Oh, I've got blood and guts on it.
Huh? No, it's National Cousins Day, of course. Tiki, what's the deal with cousins?
Cousins. Cousins. You're in a family. You're in a stable called the Family Stacks. I imagine what a cousin is. A cousin is a relative, part of your family. So basically, have you got a mother?
I got a mother, I got a father.
Okay. Have you got?
Here I am at Camp Granada. A little bit of a callback there. People will wear that song.
There was absolutely no way you couldn't say those words there, was there, Stacks? They were right there in your brain. Yeah.
So you got a mother. Is your mother got a sister?
Yep.
Right, okay. If your mother's sister has a child, if your mother's sister has a child, or, you know, your father's brother or whatever, right? So if your mother, so just use the example, not to complicate things. If your mother's sister has a child, that'll be your cousin. Have you got a cousin?
Well, I don't want to get too much into this, but I'll explain something in a goddamn second you're going to really like, guys. But that's what a cousin is.
Yeah, that's what a cousin is.
Okay, actually, got a bit of a confession to make, guys. I made out with my third cousin last night. The other two were pretty pissed when they found out about it, let me tell you. 3 jokes, 3 questions for you. Question joke number 1. What do you call Darth Vader's cousin who lives in Switzerland and drives a cab? Huh?
Right. Switzerland. We can get this.
We can.
So
It's too much to not get it.
Taxi.
We're starting with taxi, right?
So Darth Vader, right? Sith taxi neutral. Cheese chocolate watches.
I think that's
I'm just trying to think. I'm doing a semantic field of national stereotypes from which we can get out the field, you know, and then get the punchline.
What's like that as one name? It was like an Engelbert Humperdinck, like Mr. Cheese Chocolate Watches.
What's the setup against Stacks?
What do you call Darth Vader's cousin who lives in Switzerland and drives a cab?
It's got to be something about a taxi, but I can't. I'm trying to make anything from Star Wars rhyme. Like, is Darth Vader a Skywalker? Because he's Luke's dad, isn't he?
Yeah.
Is there anything in that?
Oh,
Anakin.
pointless, guys. Some people
Sorry,
think
yeah,
Star Wars films.
just
They got to do Godfather voice.
Foist.
I don't know.
So Skywalker. I
Don't know.
Nah.
Right there, guys. What do you call Darth Vader's cousin who lives in Switzerland and drives a cab? Taxi Vader. Taxi Vader.
Oh, that's excellent.
You might have a better chance with this one. What do you call a guy who sleeps with his cousin on Halloween?
Right, okay. So it's Halloween, so we're looking for spooky things. So like,
Beast from the Chase, because I think he's married to her.
what?
Yeah. I'm just spitting treats. Oh, the Beast from the Chase.
Right.
Mr. Mark,
Right.
love
Okay.
it.
So Michael Myers. Is there any like horror movie villain who's got like a name that could have like rhyme with incest or you could pun
yeah.
with it?
Who else have we got? Freddy Krueger.
Jason Voorhees.
Jigsaw. They were all Halloween films. I saw ones. Step again, please, Stax.
What do you call a guy who sleeps with his cousin on Halloween?
Could it just be about
Like trick or treat.
Yeah, I was thinking trick or treat.
Trick or treat.
Pumpkins. Don't know.
Again, all we're thinking of, guys, you're so goddamn close. What do you call a guy who sleeps with his cousin on Halloween? pumpkin. Pumpkin.
It's disgusting.
If you like that one, you're going to love this. Question joke number 3. How is non-alcoholic beer a bit like going down on your cousin? Picture that.
Non-alcoholic beer is like going down on your cousin.
What do we know about non-alcoholic beers? Low ABV.
ABV, no alcohol,
No impact on you. Drunk.
Sober. I mean, I'm lost. I'm lost, and I don't want to find myself.
No.
That was non-alcoholic beer, like going down on your cousin. It tastes the same, but it just ain't right. See you later, guys.
Bye, Stacks.
Oh, yeah, all good. Sorry, what did I miss?
Stacks.
Oh, well, good news. Sweet Chin Disco still going ahead. Just search for Sweet Chin Disco for the best after party after All In. What'd you get up to?
It's main event time.
Yeah.
Oh, it's main event time. Fantastic. It was Axiom. Yeah.
When I'm cleaning windows.
And Javon Evans. Bouncy. I haven't got a button for him yet. Taking on.
You need a comical boing.
Yeah, what have we got?
Go on then, Molly.
Yeah, we must have a boing. Come on.
Your soundboard.
Oh, there we go. I read the first 2 letters and got excited. Little alphabet joke there for us. Hang on. That doesn't work.
More of a honk.
Egg.
That's a bit like bouncy, isn't it?
Not really. It's the last thing it'll bounce because it's an egg. So if you drop
Because
it,
you
it
get those,
doesn't
like,
even
funny
bounce
eggs
once
you
and then he broke it.
No, but you can have those funny joke ones that fans have. You're like, oh, drops an egg. That's bouncy.
I always love how they're labelled as well. Joke egg.
Not a real one.
Joke poo.
You just do the main event. I've got several messages in the past 2 minutes and I'm getting a bit alarmed. In fact, I'm just going to read them.
Anything else? Oh, like,
You get it right now. Javon's got it forever.
like Javon Evans, because he always does like spectacular stuff.
Yeah.
That'll do. Okay, taking on the Rascals. This was loads of
Javon Evans.
nothing else. I think. No.
Nothing bouncy.
No, we did. That's like it's bouncing off things.
Shut the f...
Boo, boo, boo. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's just loads of fun.
Just everything all right with your messages. Sis?
Oh, yeah, it's fine.
No bouncy things.
Just get to the point.
Just give us the D's nuts now while we're here.
Oh yeah. If you want to.
These nuts.
It's been a while. It's been a while.
Evans dived over Zachary Wentz at one point onto
Not a fan of
everyone.
Mountain Dew.
I just want to save it. I think it contains 0% juice, and that's a rare thing in a drink.
Scared of it, innit?
Enough to boast about it.
I think it's a bit scared me.
No, I'm saving it because
Yeah,
I
he's
need
scared.
to pick me up when I come back off my holidays. So Freedom Fusion should do the trick when I come back. Yeah, Evans dived. It was a great spot. Dived over Zachary Wentz. I think it was onto everyone, and Wentz went, "Oh bollocks! I'll just do a moonsault onto everyone as well." And to take us to picture-in-picture break. Yeah, wild spots throughout this. Nathan Fraser hit a running shooting star press on Wentz for 2. There's a triple super kick that got a 2 count on Zachary Wentz. Wentz fight out of a cross arm choke. There's a triple drop kick on Frazier that gets a 2 count. And Evans hits that awesome. Hang on, I need a bit of this. I'm going to forget it otherwise.
Oh my God.
Top rope cutter to Trey Miguel. Frazier and Axiom hit that tandem finisher of theirs, the Spanish fly followed by the Phoenix splash, but just getting there to break up the cover. It was the bit where they They don't just they push the people who are trying to block them on top of the pile. Then everyone just hits a parade of wild moves. Super kick to Trey, cardiac kick to Fraser. Axiom hit Trey with a forearm. Trey hit back with a drop toe hold on Axiom. Catapults him into a super kick, double stomp. And then Zachary Wentz, as the part of the finish, does that awesome sort of assisted standing shooting style where he flips and gets pushed by Wesley on top of their opponent. He lands on Axiom. 1, 2, 3. The Rascals win. One of the Rascals pinning one of the tag team champions.
This match, like, I'll say this much, it gave me like 153% of my daily sugar. So as long as I don't, oh my God. It was that. It was like empty calories sugar rush match. Is this, Sidge? Because I've never been a big fan of the trios division. Trios belts, I think they're kind of needless. Is this kind of the thing that people wanted out of a trios division? Just maybe one of these a week. Be disciplined with it, with the style. Because I didn't think there was a load to this, but I couldn't not be impressed with some of what I was watching.
The moment
I think people, certainly me, I wanted a bit more
from this match.
From AEW's Trios division, which I don't know why it's been brought up.
It made me think of it because it was pretty hot and fast.
I will say, when I saw the Rascals last week, I thought, if this is the start of an NXT Trios division with them at the helm of it, I'd be absolutely fine.
I think there's actual evidence from AEW's own Trios division matches that are much better than this. Like, House of Black versus the Elite was absolutely incredible. The best Elite versus Death Triangle, like number 6, the Chicago match.
Yeah.
Like, the Chicago match, number 6 in the best of 7, both of those. Better than this. There's something about the way the Elite do it and the way the Bucks do it that's just different gravy. This was very exciting. In terms of timing and precision, like, some of it was unbelievable, but has this sort of blurry effect where it's like it all sort of certain sequences like blur into one another and resemble the last, whereas it's like an upward line when it's the Elite doing it, you know. Certainly remember the advent of the conglomeration.
Yeah,
that trios, that's better than this.
Yeah,
there's just something about the rhythm in a bigger building as well. Like, AEW's got its own trios history to live up to. This is very good, but something about WWE never gets them completely right.
Do you know what this match, if we're using an NXT comparison, reminded me of, but I just don't think I'd seen it quite as much.
Remember the Elite
NXT
versus, I can't remember who else was in the match. It was Dante Martin, and there were, it was the
2021, like the exchange they had with Ken.
Yeah.
That was good stuff.
I mean, that's unbelievable.
This had elements of, but again, I just think back in 2019, there wasn't as much of it. Do you remember the, can't name all of them anymore, remember the halftime heat match? Mm-hmm. That they had in the in this building, actually, yeah. And it
Don't name one of the competitors in that.
Exactly. The cream of NXT's crop at the time, but it was just 100 miles an hour, no selling of anything.
Cream.
And it had echoes of this, and just the blurriness. It was like everything is going so fast. But I wasn't really moved by this, do you know what I mean?
But honestly, we need to have we try and have this conversation every week, and it almost gets boring. Like, at what point do you just go, I don't care? I felt very little for it.
You were into it, weren't you?
I loved it. I thought it was great. Really, really good stuff. But I really liked Wesley for a long old time. MSK, we were fans of back in the day, and I've not seen enough of Trey Miguel. I think he's brilliant.
Quent's got the pin, didn't he?
Yeah,
that's
something
notable, isn't it? Considering everything, yeah.
Look, I tell you what, maybe it's not. Maybe it is a little bit too dissimilar, a little bit too similar to a genre that post PWG's like sort of glory era. It's just been done to death. Another thing is, and really this should stand out because wrestling could stand to be worse. Like, a great match used to be a great match because there was so much crap. Like, a great match on a Raw in 2000 followed the worst undercards you've ever seen over the past 2 years. You know what I mean? It's no wonder, like, the Radicals, Jericho eventually, and Angle got over as they did. It was such a breath of fresh air. Wrestling needs to be deliberately bad and or boring. And if it is across a lot of companies, then, you know, the Cruiserweight stood out because the WCW main eventers did nothing. They got loads of reactions, but they did now.
Yeah.
You know.
There was more range then, for better and worse, wasn't there?
Yeah.
And the show closes with Ethan Page finally getting his meeting with A.B. Shannon, the Senior Rock Thorp, general manager of NXT. Title match set with Ora Mensah for night 2 of the Great American Bash, with the contract signing for next week.
Another loaded.
NXT stacked.
I'll build in another one. Perfect episodic model, right? 2 PLEs the last 2 weeks.
Amazing.
Give them that idea.
Let us know your thoughts on that, on everything we discussed, in fact, in the comment section below, or on X, at WhatCulture WWE. Watch, they can follow all three of us. You can follow Michael Hamflett at
Michael Hamflett.
Follow Michael Sidgwick at
Sidgwick.
Follow me at Adam Wilborn. Follow us all at WhatCulture WWE. As I said, follow our brilliant producer at It's Adam Nicholas, and make sure you subscribe to WhatCulture Wrestling, wherever you get your podcasts from, for daily wrestling podcasts. The Dynamite preview, Head of Blood and Guts tonight, of course, is available right now. But for now, this has been the NXT review. My thanks to Hamflett, Sidgwick, to Stacks. Thank you for joining us, and we will see you soon.